Okay, to settle down, we can start. I think today's presentation will be very short. I will not take you more than 15-20 minutes, maybe. So it's good news for you. But hang on. I would like to share some of the important parts of your upcoming exam, which is the MSK block. Not tomorrow's one. I know that you are stressed out already, but it's just a midterm. Tomorrow's exam is just a midterm. We'll be taking only a little bit of that, but your major exam is coming up next week. Now, tomorrow's exam is important. I'm not just saying that it's not important, but I think the more important that you should think, even from today, the final exam for MSK. The MSK exam, at this time, the final exam will be comprised of 3 parts. It is the MCQ, then SAQ, and OSCE.
On the same day?
And the MCQ, the number of MCQ will be almost 100. Not 100%. The reason is, yes, you should approach that because the more the question, even if you have 2, 3, or 10 wrong, you can still get A.
Yeah.
Right? But if you don't so that's the reason we use one number of MCQ. And your major part would be the lower limb. Okay? There will be questions also from the upper limb. Because it's the exam for the entire one, but restrict mostly on the lower limb. Upper limb will be, as I said, upper limb will be also there. Then the physiology, you have 4 parts of the physiology. I've just gone through the questions right now. I have an exam review also tomorrow. And then it will be given, once we approve from the department, these are the questions, or for me, it's my block, so I have to say yes. Then it goes to an exam committee review for English, for some other problem, and the technical problem. And there are some scientific people over there, including people from anatomy. They will look at the exam, and then it comes back to the assessment office, where I look at one more time, myself and Dr. Atik will look at one more time that if there is a suggestion for any change, suggestion for any English improvement, and then we execute on next Wednesday, that will be next week. What I'm trying to say over here, there is a process we follow. So most of the time, the 99.9% time, if not maybe 100% time, we will not do any mistake. Okay? But we are all human beings, maybe 1 or 2 questions could be a problematic. We'll take it out at the end. So don't get stressed because while you are appearing the exam, I have seen the students say, oh, this question doesn't make sense. There is A, B, C, D instead of A, B, C, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 written. If you are having a problem of answering that, go to the next question. And if it is a genuine problem, I assure you that we take it out. In your midterm, there was a genuine problem of one of the questions. We took it down. So you don't have to, raise your hand, do something. We do not allow raising hand or talking too much. The reason is because if we start talking, other people will be disturbed. We just maintain basically the North American style. Like the exam is executed, it's your job to answer it, and our job to answer after the exam, not before the exam. Okay? And then coming back to the embryology now, that's what I'm here in front of you. This is my final research session. So I'll be talking only a little bit of this and that, and I have indicated 2 parts over there. One is the Carnegie stage, that is a word I'm using it called Carnegie stage. And the second is the clinical part of the limb development, which I did not go through with you yet. So these are the 2 parts I'm going to talk, and it will not take much time, I can assure you. What I'm going to say over here, if I remember, there are a number of questions also in your exam. I already put it in some questions over there. The answer for these questions are very easy, provided you have attended my class. And exactly it happened yesterday, that you attended my class, but you do not have the concept. Majority of the students wrote something else, which doesn't make sense when there is a nerve that is coming from what? A nerve should be always from the mesoderm. A muscle is always from the mesoderm. Is clear now? Yeah.
Doctor, what's the distribution of the MCQ final regarding like anatomy in the physiology?
Yeah.
What's the percentage of each?
I cannot be exact percentage wise, but mostly it will be anatomy. Mostly the distribution will be, it's a good question. Mostly it will be the anatomy part. I'm talking the gross anatomy, followed by physiology, followed by embryology, and then histology. All our histology, embryology basically the same. The reason is because we have only, we look at it, we call it the, the blueprint of the exam. So one side we put the objective, one side we put the questions, okay? So an MCQ comes from physiology, which objective we are putting it over there. So not all the questions should be in one objective. So blueprint is necessary. So it's a diversifying the exam. Now again, you may say that you have read one chapter which you feel that is important, but there is no question. That is also possible. We try to avoid by putting the objective, the important objective should be met. It's called the blueprint. So one side is objective, one side is MCQ, coming from anatomy, histology, this. Objectives have no boundary. It's an objective of something, okay? The movement of this, that could be due to physiology, excitation, contraction, coupling, or maybe from a joint movement from this, or maybe from the gross anatomy, or maybe histology. So we put that question, so the box, the blueprint should be all full. We cross the tick mark to make sure that all the major objectives are taken care of. So we do that. We have a system that we follow very nicely. But beyond that, there is a possibility that one or two objectives which you may think that is very important, but we may not be asking you, because for us it is not relevant that much. We will not tell you now. We ask you to read everything because you are acquiring the knowledge. You are not appearing the exam just for the exam. It's the knowledge component that is more important for you for future. We are preparing the medical student, not for the exam, but for the society. Clear? Okay. Now, I will be talking two aspects. I wrote it over here. One is called the Carnegie. Carnegie was the name of a person. And in the 19th century, what happened was he developed a museum. Now, where can you find that museum? You have to travel all the way to Washington, D.C. You have to go to United States. And those who have gone to United States or have seen that museum, it's a big museum, then you can see the development of the embryo. How we got the knowledge of the embryonic development. Those days, like there were no ultrasound. I'm talking about more than 100 years back. There was no ultrasound. But textbook was there. People could, exactly could pinpoint the development of the embryo. So there must have been a little embryo like this, and then look at the magnifying glass and see that yes, there is a limb development. Then they found another embryo which is maybe 1 day older, and they found that yes, it is slightly paddle shaped. And then there is its fingers are coming. Okay? So that way they put all the embryo in a museum. So how the museum was created, it is created with 23 different stages within the span of 8 weeks of pregnancy. I repeat one more time. Think about 8 weeks pregnancy. So in your brain always 8 weeks means it has to be 8 times. The embryo should be 8 times. Each week should be coming. But no, if you think about that, it is coming 23 times in different stages. Maybe one is 10 days old, another is 11 days, 12 days, 13 days, like that. So you just make it 23 days, 23 stages, for 8 weeks. That's called Carnegie stage. I'm going to show you that. But the limb development in those stages, if you go to the museum, you see from the 12 to 23 stages, the limb developments are there. Let me show you what I'm trying to say over here. I showed you earlier, and now I'm saying that this is the Carnegie stage. Okay, I'll talk to that a little later. This picture is the Carnegie stage. If you look at this, the first one is the stage 12, and this is the stage 23. You can see that it's written 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, like that. Okay? But it is not corresponding to the wing. It is just the stage of the Carnegie stage. And Carnegie stage is showing you accurately, these stages are actually in a jar. So if you go over there, I request all of you, because I know that when you go to United States, you say, well, where is the Disney World? What is the Disneyland? Where is this Las Vegas? And where is the shopping center? But if you are in Washington, D.C., make a point that you have to, Dr. Paul said, that you have to visit that museum. It's an excellent museum. Has anybody gone over there? How many students have gone to Washington, D.C.?
No visa.
Maybe. What's your name? Here's the visa. Take the visa.
No money.
So the important part is that you must visit a very scientific place. Okay? And these pictures come from there. This picture is from the Carnegie stages. One more time, see how beautifully, this is not ultrasound picture. This is not ultrasound picture. Are you with me? Because that 100 years back, people have got different stages of embryo. How they got it, nobody knows. I will not tell you how they got it. Of course, it's a human. It's not from a rat or a dog, right? It's a human. This is a human. But what we have taught to you, it makes sense to you that initially there would be a little bit of the bud formation. The bud formation means limb bud, which is exactly referring to the apical ectodermal ridge. Remember that, AER. And that AER is coming because of the genetic influence, and there are some dermatome and myotome is hitting over there. And then, if this is the bud little bit, you can see the little bit, then slowly it is increasing. So it is called the paddle. Then is the plate. Then is the finger formation through the apoptosis, and there is a rotation. If you look at carefully, this is of course showing only the upper limb. The lower limb is not shown over here. The picture is taken in that way to show the upper limb. Upper limb comes 2 days before the lower limb. But if you look at the picture one more time, the hand is like this way, isn't it? Yeah. And so it needs finally a rotation of 90 degree. Okay, it is like this, so it is 90 degree, so that the elbow goes posteriorly. So you can see that after 23, slowly the rotation will start. So rotation starts in the fetal stage, not in the embryonic stage. Clear? Yeah? So you are pretty good in understanding what is the Carnegie stage. One more time, when you are opening the book, you will understand the Carnegie stages are the stages of the human development. The 12 to 23 belongs to within the 8 weeks development, and also belongs to the limb development. Limb doesn't happen very early. You know that we are talking about the 4th week. So if I were with you, that the Carnegie stage, at the 12th is around end of 4th week. Make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
12 is end of 4th week. You got it? So now from there you can see up to 23 is 8 weeks is the development. So that's what is written over here on the previous one. Read it carefully. The human embryonic period, first 8 weeks is divided into 23 Carnegie stages. So it's not a rocket science I'm talking about here. The Carnegie stages are basically a stage of the development of the embryo, the way they got the embryo. You know, understand? Because it is not that scientific way. Whatever they got it, they put the embryo. Oh, I can see the little bud is there. Then after a month or so, they got another embryo. They said, oh, it just increased a little bit. After 2 months, somebody said, hey, listen, I got an embryo. Take it. I said, oh, it fits very over there. So it's like a puzzle, you know, they put it together to see how they, and that is the story. So it takes long time. It takes long time because you have to get the right specimen. This is not drawing. This is not drawing, this is actual human development. And that opens up the mind for anybody who is an embryologist, who is planning to think about the development of the embryo or the fetus or the human being. Okay, so Carnegie stages are named after the famous institute which began collecting and classifying embryos in the early 1900s. Okay, the 20th century. Right? Early 1900 means 20th century. We are in the 21st century. For Carnegie stages, okay, this is, I had a program earlier, I used to see those, show those, but we don't have time. I don't want to show that because, you know, you say, well, what is to do with this video when we have an exam tomorrow? You people are already hooked up with the exam oriented. It may not help you too much because even if you get B plus, it's a fantastic score with us. But some people will not take B. They say, well, I have to get A, or I have, some people get A minus, they're not happy because of the stress involved with you. You have to do well in the exam. No, you have to get the knowledge than the exam. And the knowledge is more important than the exam. Okay. Now, just the last part, okay? Last part I'm talking about. That is the clinical part. Why are you learning and the question should be in this direction. Why are we learning embryology of the limb development? The first answer, obviously, as usual, you say that to pass the exam. That's not correct. That's not correct. Okay. Hang on. You have another answer? Why we are learning? Because of these things I told you. There is a drug I have written over here, thalidomide. Thalidomide, underline that please. Thalidomide. Still people ask about the thalidomide. And I indicated to you last time that thalidomide, we used to give that drug for the pregnant lady. Why? Pregnant lady, if you know that they usually vomit. Okay? Hyperemesis. Emesis means vomiting. So if the woman is vomiting, nothing wrong. You don't have to give any drug, and this is a part of the system. Why vomiting? Because there are some hormonal changes. Women are accustomed with a certain level of estrogen, progesterone. Now HCG is coming. Now the estrogen, progesterone level is altering. So the whole body is altering. So the women feels like vomiting. Sometimes it's a sign. Not all the time. It's just a sign of pregnancy. Sign of pregnancy is vomiting. Now, if the woman is vomiting too much, then you may have to give selectively some medicine. So people early 60s, they used to give this drug thalidomide without knowing the side effects. Now look at it, what happened. The babies were born without the limb, without any limb. And that's called Amelia. The first one I wrote it over here, Amelia. You know, it's easy to remember. It's almost like a female name. Amelia. But it's not a good thing to think about it because the women have now the babies without the limb. No, not now. Not now. I'm just saying for the sake of this today's lecture. Now, it could be the other names are just the name over here, like Meromelia is what is the Fecomelia. These are all related to the limb development. And you can see the book. That what does it mean? Yeah.
Would you say focomelia is like a subset of amelia, like a complication of amelia?
One more time.
Would you say that focomelia could be like a subset, like a further complication of amelia, or?
No, it is a separate one.
It's a separate one.
A separate one. Amelia is no limb. Like A means no. There's absolutely no limb. Like but the phacomelia, if you say, is a defect wherein the upper portion of the limb is absent or poorly developed, so that the hand or foot is attached directly. So this one, so there is no paddle shape. So this is completely gone, but only this one is slowly, little bit is attached. Actually, I have seen those things because I'm 100 years old. So I have seen those patients, with the little limb attached to it. It's very sad to see that. It's very sad to see. And who did it?
Doctor.
Doctor. Doctor did it. But I was not a doctor at that time, 100 years old, but I did not do it. I just saw that it is happening. So what happens is that it was withdrawn from the market. It was withdrawn from the market that no more to be used. I'm trying to convey a message over here that in a pregnancy, whatever you give, even the diet and this, should be very careful. You should know the detailing of that and share with the lady, share with the mom over there, the pregnant lady, that I'm giving you this drug, but it may have a side effect of this, but I have to take this side effect less, more of your side symptom. Even an aspirin, trust me, even an aspirin is contraindicated. You know what is aspirin?
Yes.
Before your exam. Don't fall too much of research material, so you take aspirin. So this is contraindicated because why? The aspirin sometimes causes hemorrhage. Aspirin causes bleeding. If you take empty stomach, some people are allergic or some sensitive. What is not allergic, sensitive to aspirin. So you may have bleeding from the stomach and bleeding everywhere. Actually, people take aspirin, those who have the problem of atherosclerosis. A small dose of aspirin is recommended to prevent the clot formation. So you have a choice at that time. You can get into a problem. So even if you prescribe aspirin, you have to be careful and share with the lady that, I'm giving you aspirin, but if you have a little bleeding tendency, then come back to me, withdraw that. Similarly, any type of medicine, tetracycline, antibiotic, and this, and I just gave you a list of these things, that what is the teratogens that can affect the organogenesis, apart from virus and other things. So this is all about the first part, okay? The final slide, this is the final slide. I'm going to show you. Yes. Isn't it? The final slide, you are so happy. You don't want to see me anymore as a doctor. No more. Enough is enough. Okay, this enough is enough, that's the last slide, promise. Now what I'm trying to say, again, developmental problem can come. Can you tell me one aspect of the pregnancy that can affect the baby? There is no one there. Oligohydramnios. Read it over there. There is written somewhere. Oh, not over there. No, another one. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I have two slides. So I have to go back to that previous slide. Okay, hang on. But I said that, have you heard the name club food by now? Yes. Has anybody taught you? No. Why? Because this is the, have you done the fit yet? This week, right? Okay. So when you learn the fit, in terms of the one of the bones over there, the tendon and everything, you will also realize that this fit, if you open your textbook, that a baby could be born like this. I'm talking about the fit. Equinovarus. The pes cavus, is also called pes cavus equinovarus. It was written over there. If you look at carefully, it's written over there that it is a Calipus equiniferus, means the baby is born with a feet like this. Why the feet is like this, try to understand, because the baby cannot move too much. Is that okay? Why the baby cannot move too much? Because there is not much of amniotic fluid. That is called oligohydramnios. So please remember, sometimes oligohydramnios is associated with the problem, developmental defect of the musculoskeletal system. Because the baby cannot move very much, so when they are born, their leg is inverted, not this. This is called talipes equiniferus. This is the valgus. Varus, valgus. Varus means more of a medially, and valgus means lateral. So equiniferus, which is the baby is born with some kind of defect in the feet. Look at the photograph in your textbook tonight. Talipes equiniferus, which is a common problem due to multifactorial, we don't know the exact cause, or oligohydramnios. That's what I talked about. The last part you can forget for the time being, because we'll talk about that in the endocrine section, okay, the next year. So one more time, regarding the clinical part, I talked about the ammelia part, then I talked about due to the amniotic fluid, and finally, which I forgot, this one, is sometimes the baby could be born with a joint finger like this. This is called syndactyly. Look at the spelling of the syndactyly. There are Y two times, 3 times. Syndactyly. L-Y. Syndactyly. There are 3 Y's there. Syndactyly means like this or like this. Okay? So 3 finger, 2 finger, sometimes it's like that. You don't have to do anything. Some people go for surgery, it's okay. Even if you leave it, it is absolutely okay. Or sometimes, because of the genetic problem, a baby could be born with an extra finger. That's called the polydactyly. So I want you to remember what is a syndactyly. This is a scientific term. Syndactyly, polydactyly, extra finger. I have 5 plus 1, 6. I'm coming, hang on. Let me finish. So clinical parts are concerned, underline this couple of things. Thalidomide poisoning, not poisoning, thalidomide drug leading to amelia, fecomalia, meromalia, etc. The second part is the club foot or talipes equiniferus. Baby is born because of the oligohydramnia. And the third part is this slide showing you 2 parts. One is the syndactyly, the apoptosis is not there, or polydactyly means extra finger. You don't need more than this, less than this. That's it. Halas, thank you.